Hi, I'm Daniel Oler with the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources. I'm in charge of the Aquatic Invasive Species Program for the Central Region. Today I'm going to be showing you how to skin and fillet a catfish. We've got a couple catfish here that we got at Utah Lake. These are both channel catfish. And we've shown you a couple of fillets or how to fillet a couple of different fish. Catfish are going to be a little bit different. I never leave the skin on a catfish when I do fillet it. So the first thing we're going to want to do is get the skin off this guy. Alright, so the first step is getting that skin off that catfish. I like to use a fillet board that has a good strong clip. If it's a small enough catfish, you can probably just clip it in with the head. But the bigger ones, I like to just go ahead and stick it right inside. That way it's not going to come out of there when I'm doing this. So you can also wear a fillet glove. That'll help you get a good grip on the fish. So a couple of different tools before we get into it. I like to have about a 6 to 8 inch fillet knife, really sharp. You're going to want a really sharp knife. And then you're going to need some type of pliers to skin it. So you can just use needle nose pliers, whatever you want. I'd recommend spending the $2 and get you a good set of catfish skinning pliers. They just operate a lot better. Okay, so after you get the catfish clipped into the fillet board, the very first step in skinning it is to score that skin. You don't need to cut very deep. It just needs to make it through the skin itself. This is just going to make it easier. And this is why you really want to have a very sharp knife. So you're going to score it just like that. Okay. On a smaller catfish, you don't need this next step, but this one's probably big enough, it'll actually help. So give it a good score all the way down the back. Okay. All the way to the tail. So we're also going to want to make another cut around that dorsal fin. Okay, so you've basically marked out the area that we're going to be skinning. And then we grab our catfish skinning pliers. Okay, just grab a hold of that skin. This is where catfish skinning pliers are really going to help you compared to needle nose pliers. Have a really firm grip right here. I like to tuck my hands below those barbs right there, those spines, and just peel it back. And if during the process it starts to rip, no big deal. Just grab it, keep going. If it's starting to peel meat off, just keep on getting another grip on it and peel that all the way down to the tail. Okay? We'll just put that over here. We don't want to eat that. All right, other side, almost the exact same process. Just grab a hold of that. Okay, and sometimes it's really on there, so you're gonna have to fight with it a little bit, and every catfish is gonna be a little different, just like there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, so we've got the skin off. Now the next step is to fillet it. Before I flip it over, just to make this easier to fillet, I like to grab a hold of these little spines right here and snap them off. Okay, that's just going to make it lay flatter. Okay, so this is where it's going to be a little bit different than maybe what you have seen. I'm not an expert by any means, this is just the way I do it. So I clip it in tail first, okay? So it's laying flat. I've got those spines broke. So what I do is I just cut right into the flesh till I feel that bone. Then I turn the knife so it's laying flat against that spine right there, okay? So, and a lot of this is going to be by feel, and it's going to be something that you're just going to have to practice. I can feel my knife riding along those bones right there. So that's what you're going to be feeling, okay, to make sure that you're getting the most meat off it. Once you get to where the ribs start, you're done on the tail side. Then I come up to the top side. Same thing, just slide that fillet knife, and a nice sharp one is going to really help. I'm basically sliding the knife against the spine where it meets the ribs, okay, all the way up to about there. And then I just kind of open it up so I can see what I'm doing. Just slide that fillet knife against those ribs. And I come out here and cut that fillet off. I didn't even see the guts. So that fillet is done. That's ready to go. Okay, and then we just flip it over. Do the exact same thing on the other side. I'll just get this out of the way. Okay, the other side is basically the same thing, except you don't have the structure of that muscle holding the fish together. So it's a little bit more difficult to make sure that you're staying, you know, with a nice accurate fillet. So same deal. So I get it to about there. Go back to the tail side. And remember, we only want to do the tail up to where the rib cage starts. We don't need to open it up any more than she already is. So, and I go back to the top right here. And again, a lot of this is going to be by feel and by practice. And the more you do it, the better you are going to be at it. And then I've got it opened up. Cut the rest of that fillet off. The thing I love about catfish, the reason why me and my family love them so much, is once you get that fillet off, there's really no bones in it. All those bones are in that carcass. So it's a really easy fish to fillet. If you want young children to start eating catfish or any type of fish, if they catch a bone in their throat, it's going to turn them off for a long time. So the catfish are great. You can easily get all the bones out. Okay, now we've got 2 catfish fillets, and you could actually just call it good at this point, but I usually don't, because if you've caught your catfish in maybe a water that doesn't have the cleanest reputation, you want to make sure that it's clean and safe. There's a couple of steps that are going to make it a little bit better, safer, tastier, and just a better product. So all of this connective tissue on here, you want to make sure that you remove that membrane, that shiny membrane. If you fry it just like this, it's actually going to curl up in the oil. It's not going to be the greatest. And if there's contaminants in the water, they're going to settle in the offal tissue, the non-meat tissues of the fish, the fat, the nervous tissue. So I like to make sure I take all that off before I eat it. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. I like to just clip it back in the fillet board and just skin it again. So just like you're skinning a normal fish, except you're taking off the non-meat tissue. Okay, just kind of, this is going to be by feel too, just kind of keeping that blade close to the fillet board and take off a lot of that lateral line. I didn't get all of it that great, but that red tissue, that lateral line, that's nervous tissue. You don't want to eat that. So it's going to be kind of a triangular shaped portion of meat that you just cut off there and discard it. If you've ever had fish that tasted muddy, it could be because of that, because you're eating the part that you shouldn't have ate. Okay, so now you've got a cleaner looking fillet. If it's less than 1/4 inch or 3/4 of an inch, you're probably good to go ahead and fry it. It'll cook real even. But if it's a little bit bigger, it's not a bad idea to cut it into strips, so it'll be easier for the breading to stick and easier to fry it. So then I can just kind of do the same thing with this half. Clip it back into the fillet board. I just call this like double skinning or whatever you want to call it, but taking off the tissue that's not meat. That's the only part that you really want to eat, is the meat on a fish. Okay? And whenever I'm cutting it into strips, I always want to cut it perpendicular to where the bones could be. So if I know if I missed any bones, I'll be able to catch them at that point.